An ordinary office worker accidentally gets caught up in a deadly kidnapping case. Sam was having one of those days. This unlucky guy was getting ready for work when he stepped outside to find his bike had been stripped down to just the front wheel. With no other choice, he had to hoof it to the office on foot. But Lady Luck wasn't done messing with him yet. Halfway there, a BMW suddenly went into a full 360-degree spin right in front of him. Sam watched in horror as the bloodied driver slumped over the wheel, and the shock of it all knocked him out cold. When he came to, the cops had already arrived and the driver was being rushed to the hospital. Sam figured it was just a freak accident, but then a cell phone started ringing in the snow nearby. Sam picked it up, planning to let whoever was calling know that the phone's owner had been in a crash. The voice on the other end made his blood run cold. "If you're not here by 5 o'clock, we're gonna kill your wife." Sam's mind went blank. Was this some sick prank or an actual kidnapping? Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Should he go to work or try to save someone's life? He decided to head to the office first and drop the phone off at the police station after work. At the company, Sam's complete incompetence was on full display. He couldn't even come up with a decent slogan for a campaign, got humiliated by his boss in the meeting, and made a fool of himself in front of his coworkers. The only person who'd give him the time of day was Phil, a 31-year-old overweight guy who was basically a walking disaster with this wannabe hero was always fantasizing about saving the day. When the phone rang again, a woman's screams came through the phone, and Sam realized this was no joke. Phil eavesdropped on the kidnapper's threats. Phil practically lit up with excitement. This was his shot at being the hero he'd always dreamed of being. Two losers were about to save the world. But Sam was a realist. All he wanted was to do his job, make some money, and buy a new bike. Phil wouldn't hear any of it though. There was a life at stake. The two of them got into it right there on the rooftop, pushing and shoving, when their co-workers walked in on the bizarre scene. After some heated arguing, they reached a compromise. They'd return the phone to the crash victim, which would get them off the hook entirely. Just as Sam's ex-girlfriend was breathing down his neck about a work report, the kidnappers called again. And to make matters worse, when the kidnapper said they had to meet at 5, his ex-boss butted in saying he couldn't leave early. Sam swallowed his pride and asked the kidnapper, "Could we maybe make it 6 o'clock?" Dead silence on both ends. But the kidnapper actually agreed. When his ex asked what was going on, Sam told her the truth. Someone had been kidnapped. She immediately lost it. "Get out." After work, the two misfits rushed to the hospital to find the crash victim. But the nurse was a stickler for privacy rules and wouldn't give them any patient information. Phil pulled out his secret weapon, a whopping $2 bribe. Sam wanted to crawl under a rock from embarrassment. With bribery off the table, they had to get creative. Sam pretended to be a patient and lay down on a gurney while Phil posed as a male nurse, searching room by room for their target. But Phil had the worst sense of direction ever. He had to check a map every few steps and managed to lose track of Sam. Things went from bad to worse when Sam got wheeled into an operating room and was about to have his leg amputated. He screamed that they had the wrong guy, but everyone just figured he had pre-surgery jitters. Just as the anesthesiologist was raising the needle, Phil finally realized his mistake and saved Sam at the last possible second. When they finally tracked down the crash victim, Sam excitedly explained why they were there and tried to return the phone. The driver looked completely baffled. "My phone's right there on the nightstand, and I'm not even married." So the phone wasn't his? Then whose phone was it? Now the two losers were in way over their heads. But with someone's life hanging in the balance, they couldn't just walk away. Just as they were debating whether to take the bus or call a cab, someone threw bags over their heads and shoved them into a car. The kidnappers had found them.